a place called there. A place called there. This morning, as bad as we would want God to do something in our here, I'm beginning to understand that when here isn't happening, that God has a place called there. And the sad part of it is that there takes you out of yourself. There has you at a place that you're not dependent upon yourself. There, that if you're not spiritual, becomes uncomfortable. And the realization is that all of us have a there that God is trying to take us to. And as bad as you want to kick against here, because here is comfortable, because you know what you're going to get here. But the thing is, when you're dealing with an unknown God, he'll take you to an unknown place, and all you can call the unknown place is there. That even when we look back over our life, all of us have had episodes in our life where we didn't know where we were, but we were there. And the reality of it is, while we were there, we can say that he was there with us. And now Elijah finds himself dealing with a ruthless king, dealing with a king that had no type of character and didn't have any integrity about himself. And he gets an unction from the Lord, and he tells Ahab, he says, Ahab, for 3 years, I'm talking to God now, for 3 years it's not going to rain. In other words, he says, I've told heaven to shut up the waterfalls. I told God, don't cry no more. And for 3 years, the earth would not have any rain. Isn't it something that you pronounce something here, and the same thing that you pronounce, it would appear that you're going to have to go through the same thing that you pronounce that somebody else was going to go through? But how many folk know that even though it happened here, God has a there just for you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can be broke, but God got a there that got your riches. You can be sick, but God has a there that has your healing. You can be troubled in your mind, but God has a there that will regulate your mind. There's a there for you this morning. So now, he says, shut it up. But by the time you get to chapter 17, you find that now the conversation has taken place, and while he's sitting here waiting on God to say something, first thing God says is, you got to move. Can I tell you something? We can get so complacent with here that we don't want to move. And many of us want to blame other folk for why things are the way they are. Can I tell you why? It's because God said, get out of here, because I have a there, but we got so comfortable with here. Yeah, sometimes we stay here in relationships too long. We stay here in friendships too long. And God tried to say, but I'm trying to take you there, because there is where your promise is. There is where your provision is. But next, there is where his presence and protection is. He tells him, get out of here and go there. And all of us, I said it before, all of us have a there. And if you look in the Bible, all of them had some theirs too. Can I just tell you a couple of them? Jeremiah had a there. You don't believe me? The word came to him, and he said, Jeremiah, go down to the potter's house, and there I will show you. Moses had a there. It was in the cleft of a rock when he said, Lord, show me your glory. And he says to Moses, there in me is the cleft, and I'm going to hide you. And when I walk by, you won't see my glory, but you'll see the high part. Isn't it something to know that if Moses had a there, if Jeremiah had a there, then surely, Willie, you got her there. Carlisa, you got her there. Jerubel, everybody ought to have her there. Joseph had her there. Yeah, before he even got to the palace, Joseph there was a prison. You don't believe me because it even said that in the prison there, the favor of the Lord was still with Joseph. Joseph ain't always the pretty places or the popular places, but can I tell you, there does exist. There does exist. I got 3 things that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to sit down. The first thing I want to tell you is God will never send you where he isn't. If he sent you there, you ain't got to worry about whether or not he's going to be there when you get there, because he's already there. You know how I know? I wish I could call Noah. Noah will tell you that when God told him to come inside the ark, he was only calling them to a place he already was. And sometimes, watch this, sometimes you got to go by yourself, because here you have Elijah, but notice everybody can't go to your there.